The Voyeur, 1970. 40-year-old Sandro is married to Claude. Sandro has one strange obsession. He is a self-confessed voyeur. He films his wife in all walks of life on his wobbly handheld camcorder. But everything changes when Mark enters their life. This was partly filmed in the English village of Alford, 50 miles south of London, under the title Trigon. Viaggio Celebrity presents top 5 movies like The Voyeur. Number 5. Erotomania, 1974. Attorney Rodolfo is an executive of a major oil company. He is affected by a neurosis because of a childhood shock and became impotent, which prevent him from having satisfying love relation both with his wife Cicia and with the young and uninhibited lover Claretta. He will rely on the care of a strange psychiatrist, but without achieving great result. This is one of these odd but usually enjoyable Italian films that combine rebel comedy with black comedy and satire. These films probably emerged from the Boccaccio tradition, but they are updated to modern time with a lot of criticism of modern capitalism and religion, and often with a lot trendy Freudian psychology thrown in. Number 4. Odd Obsession, 1959. Almost impotent, battling with senility in vain, Kenji, an elderly art critic and esteemed antique collector, finds it difficult to come to terms with his waning virility despite the fact that he is married to a much younger wife, the beautiful Ikuko. As a result, to boost up his potency, the art expert visits frequently the young Dr. Kimura, who is in a relationship with his daughter Toshiko. Unbeknownst to the physician, however, that the only thing that sustains Kenji's youth is jealousy. And then, unexpectedly, when Ikuko becomes drunk one night, Kenji will hatch a cunning plot, one that involves his unsuspecting wife, his daughter, Dr. Kimura, and above all, his powers and irrepressible libido. Number 3. X-Rated Girl, 1971. A frustrated musician makes a career out of his wife's beautiful body. Niccolo Vivaldi is a cello player and he plays in the Arena di Verona Orchestra. But he is not the first and neither the second cello. He is frustrated. Nobody can remember his face nor his name. Niccolo is married to Costanza, who is really beautiful, and he takes some picture of her. Later, he showed the picture to a friend, and so he felt better. He started to write a comic opera called Il Marlomel, only to discover later he had written Rossini's La Gazzaladra. To maintain his self-esteem, he can only show his wife. Number 2. The Voyeur, 1994. A troubled college professor becomes obsessed with the idea that his emotionally distant wife is having an affair with his invalid father, nurturing a strange, almost morbid bond with his statuesque young wife Sylvia. The recently dumped literature professor Eduardo struggled to understand. Now convinced that Sylvia has left him for another man, Eduardo, dodo to his friends, finds himself unable to resist the pure magnetism of his bedridden father's scantily clad living nurse Fausta, and his seductive Congolese student Pascozzi. More and more tormented by suspicion and obsessed with the thought of Sylvia, Dodo ended up reconstructing the truth through his memories, assuming the role he has been assigned by destiny, that of the man who loved watching. Number 1. The Key, 1983. As the rise of the Italian fascism make its visible presence in noble 1940s Venice, Professor Nino Rolfe and his much younger wife, the sumptuous Italian beauty Teresa, sadly after 20 years of marriage, witnessed their enthusiasm with her and the passion wine. Inevitably, all that remained now is to let his imagination run wild and confess his boldly intimate and rousing thought to his elaborate diary, in the hope that Teresa will soon find it and read it. There, in his frank and unrestricted confession against all risk of being judged as a vile and corrupt man, Nino would admit all the things that he would never be able to say in person, urging his goddess Teresa to finally get rid of her painful and revolting modesty. The faithful diary may be locked away in safety, but the precious key is hidden in plain sight. Will innocent Teresa ever discover it, and with it the way to unlock what quickened the faint yet willing heart